Cameron shouted, "Just read the bloody thing out, will you?" Paul and Reg, take a look at this.
OK, that's... right, oh, this is... There's been a pair of underpants in the news. Underpants... Oh, that would confirm it. There's a plane underpants bomber's tried to blow up his own underpants on a plane, and that's the security measures, and that's how spies operated in 1936. The old cigarette case, new piece of paper. So it's about bombs, blowing yourself up, blowing underpants up on the planes, and they've really arrested somebody who's been trying to do it, and he's been stopped and he's failed, and it hasn't worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
OK, well, what do we know about the plot?
It didn't work. And it involved underpants. And explosives as well, because the underpants on their own aren't much of a threat.
This is exactly right.
Well, in some cases they could be, but in this case, no.
So basically, an unnamed secret agent had a bomb to blow up an unnamed plane, which he gave to the CIA and has now disappeared.
So the only proof of his existence that we have is the bomb that he left. There's no other proof.
And the underpants, presumably.
Yeah.
It's a sting.
It's a sting?
It's a sting. Yes, it was...
Well, it would, though, wouldn't it?
Someone said... He said to someone in the Yemen, I'd like to blow up a plane. Have you got any underpants with a bomb in it? They said, I'll run one up for you, sir. Small tailors in the Yemen. They do it all up, get the underpants. He says, great, then hands it over to the CIA, because he's an agent.
What I find suspicious about this is that the handler who gave the bomb seemed to be kind of, you know, cavalier about the execution of this. It's like, all right, I got the bomb. What plane and what time you want to blow it up? Yeah, it's up to you, man. Whenever. You know. Blow up one today, tomorrow. As long as you blow up a plane, man. Just blow up something. Don't be trying to impress nobody. Blow it up your way.
But we do know that the previous underpants bomb was real. What happened to that? And why are they so dangerous, these pants bombs?
Well, it's a pair of... Why is a pair of pants with a bomb in it so dangerous? If they're too tight, can cut out your blood supply.
Most men, no matter what country or culture they come from, have some fondness for their genitalia. And any man that's willing to blow up his genitalia to hurt other people, well, that's a man I'm scared of, you know what I'm saying?
So when you say you don't mean inflate, you mean explode?
Exactly.
Because blow up your genitals is another thing.
Yeah, underwear bombers around the world, underwear bomb makers, have been trying around the clock to find a way to perfect this. Burnt bums, burnt testicles, just... It ain't quite...
Around the clock isn't always the phrase they use. But it's very similar.
What
event? They have a
event?
lot of dexterity in this world of euphemistic sexual language. I don't know.
I did once edit a magazine for several years.
Oh, smart dude.
What event do they think this latest bum bomb might have been intended to commemorate?
It was meant to be a year since Obama killed Osama.
That's right. But this also gave the US military a fantastic excuse to release some of bin Laden's letters. Have you seen any of these?
Yes, they're rather whingy.
Yes.
He's got a slight tone of Ken Livingstone about him.
What was his master plan?
Did he have one?
Well, he had several, but one of the ones he was particularly keen on was he wanted to try and shoot down Obama's plane if he ever visited Afghanistan, but not Joe Biden. This was his point, because he thought that if Obama died, Biden will automatically become president. He is totally unprepared for that post, which will lead the US into crisis. That's a ringing endorsement for Joe Biden, isn't it? I am so incompetent that our enemies want to make me president as a weapon. So the leaders on their way out. Let's go closer to home. What's happened in France this last week?
There's been an election.
Is out.
Who won that one, Nadine?
Hollande.
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 That's right.
Yeah.
So, yes, Francois Hollande, he has the rich in his sights. It hasn't gone down well at all in France. Apparently, the CAC is down 4%. Hollande, he doesn't like the EU's austerity measures either, which might cause problems for the Germans. But where else is democracy upsetting the Apfelwagen?
Are you referring to Greece?
I am, yes.
Yes? Well, they've had elections in Greece.
Yes.
And the new people who've come in, the vote's been split, the new people have said, our plan is not to pay back the loan. And so throughout Europe, there is essentially 2 points of view, everyone else and the Germans. And last time, that didn't go so well.
So with a major threat to the Eurozone, nationalism, isolationism and financial turmoil, how did the Mirror sum up the situation?
It's a tragedy.
British holidaymakers are the winners. And soared to €1.2. How is Mexico's democratic process destabilised this week?
Is it one of those things where somebody's voted for somebody who's dead and they've won?
No.
No.
It was all done by this woman, Julia Orellán, who was hired by a TV production company to hand out the order of speakers to candidates on a televised Mexican election debate. She was accused of putting the speakers off and disturbing their concentration. How did the debate's TV producer, Jesus Tapia, decide to pick Julia for the show?
Did he ask Mr. Berlusconi?
He said, I chose her because she was much shorter than the other two who had applied for the job. But she was taller lying down. Speaking of glamorous women, Nancy Dell'Olio has been talking to the London Evening Standard's diarist this week, talking about her appearance on last week's show. The diarist writes, Nancy tells me each of the men asked her out to dinner afterwards, but sadly she had another engagement.
Well, I'd like to warn Nancy that I've got a super injunction out.
And on the subject of unintelligible foreigners, would anyone like to see a commercial for a Chinese kitchen knife?
Yes, please.
Here we are.
Which is a specialist manufacturer and exporter of ceramic knives. We have advanced production equipment and superior technical personnel. Quality first and continuous innovation is our persistent aim, and we focus our attention on manufacturing and selling various kinds of novelty.
Robert Peston's voice coach.
Yes, this was the triumph for the CIA this week as they foiled another underpants bomb plot. The original underpants bomb plot resulted in the device only partially exploding in the bomber's underwear. The bomber was able to get through security because the device had no moving parts. And now, neither does he. Also this week, Greece tried to bring about the end of Western...
Can we get the bloke who did the Chinese knife?
Also this week, Greece tried to bring about the end of Western civilization. Well, the Greeks started it. It seems only fair they should be the ones to end it. According to one newspaper, Ladbrokes have slashed the odds of Greece leaving the euro by the end of the year to 6-4 on. So if the Greek finance minister's watching, bung 60 billion on that, pull out, sorted. And so we come to round two, the picture spin quiz. Fingers on buzzers, teams. Yes, Paul and Reginald.
There seems to be a man conducting an invisible orchestra. He's conducting huge amounts of cheese. So is this some musical cheese reference I've missed over the last week? Is cheese the new music? You can carry a piece of cheddar in your hand and it's got Elgar written all the way through it?
No, you're right. But you're kind of close.
It's a musical vibrational technique in order to make sure that cheese ages the right way.
Yeah.
Plausible, sensible, not right. This is the news that songwriters are being invited to create a national anthem for cheddar cheese. Whose idea was this?
Was it somebody at the Cheese Council?
The BCB.
The BCB?
The British Cheese Board.
Oh, the British Cheese
It's true. Seriously, the British Cheese Board. No! The BCB want songwriters to come up with original lyrics about cheddar to the tune of what?
God Save the Queen.
Exactly. And Land of Hope and Glory and Jerusalem, these kinds of tunes. Anyone want to submit an entry now?
I'd like to have some notice on this. What is it, like the bee cheese or something like that?
In order to make music for cheese, that cheese has to be present in order to inspire made music.
I don't know if cheese even needs to be in the room, to be honest.
Clearly it does. Look at all that cheese they got standing there with that man.
Who have the BCB chosen to spearhead this campaign?
Me? I didn't want to say, but...
It's Alex James. He's the man behind it. He said this is a fun way to support British cheddar and combine two of the best things in life, music and cheese. Which is, of course, Simon Cowell's job. How will the anthem winner be judged?
by a tone-deaf cow attached to a taser.
Or how much wine is consumed while the music and cheese is being looked at and listened to.
You could make a product which was a piece of cheese that had wine inside it. So you're not sure which wine goes with which cheese. Simply buy a block of cheese,
Avoid confusion.
2 pints of wine injected into the middle of it.
You don't want to just be reaching over for your wine and then have to reach over again for your cheese.
No.
Just one reach over and you got both.
You got both.
What, like that?
Or it should be liquid in the middle, like a liqueur.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Cheesy, winey liqueur.
Well, so they would be the size of a Malteser.
Yeah,
You sort
well,
of
hang on a
think
minute. This
you'd
is
pop it
my
in.
idea. Don't you hang on a second. You're discussing patents over there. No. Cheesy wine balls.
And when you do this and eat this, you can look at people who have to reach over for them 2 things at 2
you
different
can
times
laugh.
and look down at them. Losers.